Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wrestling Rants and Reviews. I am Big Mike, and this is yet another episode 3 of WTF. Nah, it doesn't stand for what the fuck. It is your weekly top 5, but however, there may be something in this weekly top 5 that may make you say, what the fuck. And before we get into WTF, we're going to have a little bit of our day in wrestling history. That's right. I didn't think there was enough to make a video, enough going on in today's wrestling history to make a video on its own, so I'm just going to add it to this. Sorry if you would like it by itself, but I figured I'd just make one jam-packed video, and it's going to be like this. So your wrestling history for August the 5th. Actually, today is August 6th, my bad. Your wrestling history for August the 6th goes as follows. A little bit of trivia, a little bit of useless knowledge, as I like to call it. 1996, Riki Choshu wins the NWJP New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax Tournament, defeating Masahiro Chono in the final. We did, however, have an event on this day, but not a lot to write home about. It was just a 1995 WCW held Clash of the Champions, 31, I believe, and it was held in, yes, it was 31, was held in Daytona Beach, Florida. There was only one or two matches to write home about. It was the Renegade defeating Paul Orndorff to retain the television title, and Big Van Vader defeats Arn Anderson and Ric Flair in a handicap match. Title changes for this day. We go back to 1964. Mike Gallagher and Nelson Royal defeat Bobby Graham and Jerry Kozak to win the TSW United States Tag Team titles. 1973, Black Gordman and Goliath defeat Jose Lothario and Ivan Putski to win the Texas Tag Team titles. 1981, Bob Orton Jr. defeats Don Diamond to win the MSW Mississippi title. And in 2001 on Raw, Tajiri defeats X-Pac to win the WWF Light Heavyweight title. Birthdays for today. You can hear my dog. I'm going to shoot him in a minute, motherfucker. But anyways, the birthdays for today in wrestling history. I want to say happy birthday to Jimmy Valiant. WWE Hall of Famer turns 69. British female indie star Jetta turns 24. And also today would have been the birthday of the WWF Tag Team Champion Dino Bravo, who would have been 63. Wow. I guess Dino was an old man even back when I thought he was a young man. So, we miss you, Dino. Happy birthday to you. And happy birthday to you, anybody in the YWC and out there in YouTube land. So anyways, let's move on. That's right, we're moving on to the WTF, the weekly top 5. We're going to start out with number 5. Usually I don't do any particular order, but this week I think I'm gonna. Number 5, I was shooting to be the 5 releases from the WWE. We've seen 5 people let go, or 5 people left the company as of yesterday that we knew about. We had Vladimir Kozlov being released of his duties. Chris Masters. Who else? Who else was it? Chris Masters. Kozlov. Come on, I didn't have to tip my tongue. Why is it in my head? Kozlov. Masters. Oh, come the fuck on. Why don't I know it? I don't know. Why am I dropping it so easy? Well, we know Melina. D.H. Smith. That's probably why I didn't fucking know. Sorry about that. Sorry for having a brain fart. Fucking D.H. Smith. No wonder it wasn't on the top of my head. Hadn't seen that guy in months. And Gil Kim. But Gil Kim apparently wasn't released, or she didn't even ask to be released of her contract. She quit. She plain out quit, apparently. We'll get more into that in a couple moments. But yeah, we had 5 releases, or 5 people gone. Vladimir Kozlov, Chris Masters Smith, D.H. Smith, and Melina, and Gil Kim. I don't think it's a big deal, other than Melina and Gil Kim. Kozlov, I think he was past his due. Once they stopped giving him the monster push that they were going to give him on SmackDown, when he was going, undefeated, beating people like The Undertaker and Triple H, and, getting put in the Elimination Chamber, etc. After they stopped giving him that push, that whole killer Russian, gimmick, you knew he was going downhill. And once you seen him tag team with Santino, you knew it was done, so it was just a matter of time. Chris Masters, I heard that after WrestleMania he was supposed to get a push, but I don't know what happened there. I think there's too many people waiting for their push, and they don't know what to do with anybody, and he was just probably in the wrong spot in the wrong time. You know, because there's people like Kurt Hawkins that could have been let go, people like JTG that could have been let go, people like Hornswoggle that could have been let go, um, you know, people, et cetera, that could have been let go, and I think he was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. People like D.H. Smith that could have been let go, which he was anyways. Good riddance to him. You know, I'm not trying to sound like a jerk. I thought he could have been a good talent. He had size and ability, but I guess he didn't either apply himself or maybe he just got tired of wrestling because apparently he wants to pursue an MMA career. So good luck with that. All your future endeavors. And Melina, this comes as a shocker, really. If they were going to do it, I'm surprised they didn't release her a couple years ago or when she was injured before last year's WrestleMania. They could have let her go then. But just to let her go out of the blue makes no sense. They could have kept her around. Maybe her time wasn't right now to be at the top. Maybe it wasn't. They could have put her on SmackDown, maybe. They didn't need to get rid of her. If they did, they should have done it prior till now, because to keep her around this long, just job her out, is just disrespectful, you know. She's getting a bad rap for being a slut or a whore or whatever, you know, keeping her legs fucking spread. So what, you know? I'm sure it happens all over the place. Just because she's in the WWE doesn't mean she's the biggest slut going. You know, I'm sure people's do it every day in their corporate jobs, you know. So some people may do it to keep their fucking job at McDonald's even. You know, so who cares? You know, let her be a fucking slut, because I'm sure if she came over to you and spread her fucking legs, wanted to sit on your face, you'd give her a fucking lick. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Gail Kim apparently did not ask even for her release. She just plain out quit. She had enough. And we'll get into that in a minute. Anyways, enough rambling at number 5. Let's get down to number 4. Speaking of releases, Amazing Red was released. He asked for his release from TNA. Apparently, Creative had nothing for him. They weren't using him worth shit. So he asked for his release. And I don't blame him, because TNA's contracts are so different compared to WWE's. You're not an honor guaranteed contract. You're at like per appearance, and they're not even making big money per appearance. You know, depending on who you are, you know, and I'm sure Amazing Red did make a lot. So he's probably better off just hanging out wherever, doing whatever. You know, he can travel all over the Indies now. I was going to say there's Jersey All Pro, but apparently they're under hiatus. So maybe him and Jay Lethal will do something. Maybe they'll bring back Jersey All Pro together. Maybe they'll start their own thing, because I know they're tight. You know, who knows? But I'm sure Amazing Red's not done yet. Moving on. Speaking of Gail Kim, she's going to be my number 3 as well. Gail Kim, like I said, had not asked for her release. She just plain out quit. Apparently, I'm reading on Twitter here. She says, I didn't ask for a release. As she was writing to Tara, Victoria, whatever. She goes, I didn't ask for a release. I quit, LOL, meaning I didn't want their money. I'd rather be free. So, she'd had enough. And I don't blame her. You know, she's a top friggin' wrestler. I think she's a little overrated myself. But she is a very good talent. She deserves to be in a better position. She probably left going back to from TNA to go to WWE when they wanted her, expecting to be in a better position, but she never was. They didn't really showcase her for anything. They probably just took her from the TNA women's or knockout division because she was kicking ass over there, and that division was making TNA number 1. It really was, because when you had Gail Kim and Karma, when you had their feud over there, it was the talk of the town. You know, that division was better than WWE at the time period. You know, so they probably just scooped her up, told her a bunch of bullshit, come over and hang out with us, and we'll leave you in the bottom. So would I like to see TNA pick Gail Kim up again? Sure, why not? You know, she could have a feud with Mickie James. She could even Madison Rayne. You know, with Tara even. So it'd be interesting. I'd like to see that happen. even though I'm not a huge fan of Gail Kim. Moving on, number 2, and then also in the news this week, the judge bans a man who has apparently been stalking Maurice for some quite time now. A judge has court ordered a man to stay clear of WWE diva Maurice. That's right. Reports from TMZ say a 61-year-old Lee Sieber from ever being near WWE Maurice for 3 years. They note that The Miz, Maurice's boyfriend, was with her in court. And here's the report. The man accused of stalking WWE star Maurice Ouellette has been legally banned from going anywhere close to the beauty for the next 3 years. An LA Superior Court judge granted Maurice's request for a restraining order against 61-year-old Lee Silber this morning, requiring the guy to stay at least 300 feet away from the diva for the next 3 years. So I guess he won't be getting front row seats anytime soon, you know. Apparently Maurice is claiming that he's been harassing her constantly, leaving more than 50 delusional voicemails on her cell phone, and sending her scary letters, promising to track her down in LA and take her to heaven with him. So some weird ass shit there. So sometimes there is no pay, real good pay, to be a celebrity when you got to deal with shit like this. And number 1 in my books this week for the weekly top 5 is Colt Cabana works a dark match. That's right. Colt Cabana worked a WWE dark match prior to the TV tapings for SmackDown this past Tuesday. Who did he work? Wade Barrett. That's right. Which is kind of weird. Why would it, take Wade Barrett off TV to be in a dark match with Colt Cabana? Colt Cabana could have had a dark match with, I don't know, anybody else. Maybe Kurt Hawkins or Tyson Kidd would have been pretty sweet in my books. But that's all right. That's cool. I'd like to have seen the match. But does that mean he's going to get another shot? Does that mean CM Punk really does have that much power to, pursue talent again? Does that mean they're going to be back fucking Luke Gallows? Excuse me, I got some major gas here. I'm not trying to be a pig if you're really catching all that stuff. I'm trying to hold it in as much as I can. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe CM Punk does have that much power now. Hopefully, it'd be cool if he did. We may be able to see more ROH stars in the future, more indie stars, more people with talent. Maybe maybe WWE will go in a direction where they start focusing on wrestling a little bit more. Who knows? But for Colt Cabana to work a dark match, that shortly after CM Punk kind of plugging him on WWE television is quite newsworthy to me, I think. Because he didn't get a fair shake when he was Scotty Goldman. And I think the fans will love Colt Cabana that don't really know him from ROH. There's a lot of WWE fans that are still oblivious. And his unorthodox style will capture, the imaginations of the young kids as much as the older folks. Because if you haven't really watched the Colt Cabana match, he's fucking hilarious. And at the same time, he's being a great wrestler. Some of the holds he comes up with, the predicaments, funny as fuck, but pure genius when it comes to wrestling. So, anyways, folks, that was my weekly top 5. Sorry if I rambled on a little too much. You also got a day in wrestling history in there as well. So if I kept you in there in your seats saying what the fuck, well, then I guess I did all right. But remember, I am Big Mike, and that's that.